Okay, I have a couple of Tink bucket cylinders that I'm doing here, and these are the upgraded ones. I'm having a little difficulty. So what this is it's got two threads on it. One's on the piston, and then it's got a nut. And they upgraded it to that because they had a lot of problems with them breaking these off from slamming the buckets on these loaders. So whoever did this put a mass amount of Loctite on that second set of threads, and it doesn't want to come out. And you have a spanner wrench here. This is a Blue Point, but there's no way you're going to get it on there with that get it off with that Loctite on there. Okay, so I'm going to have to heat this. I don't like doing it. You got to be real careful because it changes the metal. And then you get harden this or whatever, like a heat treat, then you put this together, it starts slamming, then it breaks it off. So that's why I don't like to put Loctite. I actually put Never Seize on the piston, okay, and suck it up pretty tight, but never seize it, and then I'll Loctite the nut. And this is a locking nut, but I'll put Loctite on there, and then I'll breaker bar it. That way, when you go to repair it, you can get them apart. So now I'm in a situation here where there's no way I have to heat this. So let's see if I can do it. I pulled the seals off, and I just wanted to show you this. So the other thing is when you're using a torch around oil and oxygen don't mix. So be very careful. It's like a bomb going off. It does not mix, and so you want to be careful laying your torch around all this oil and stuff. Be very careful with that. In fact, you should be trained and taught the safety on using torches before you do it. You should take a class or whatever. But anyways, here we go. We're going to heat this up and see if I can crack this thing. I try to keep it away from the threads. I don't want that getting hot. I want to kind of heat the piston up so it will melt the Loctite in there. Now, I already did the other one on the other table, and it was hard coming off, but it cracked it, and I got it off there. Let's see if we can get this one. To replace these cylinders, I think they're 1,800 plus. So definitely, if you can reseal them, it'll be worth it. Or, you're going to pay $3,600 for a set of these cylinders. So we're going to try to save this. I'm heating outside, trying to get this piston hot enough. And I'll show you, then I'll take my Matco air hammer and try to break it. Got to get just the right amount of heat on this to melt that Loctite all around those threads. Kind of just experience. You don't want to get it like red hot. Change it that much, but it's starting to get hot. Okay, I'm going to stop it. Let's go ahead and see if I can hit it with this air hammer real quick. So just get it loose. Oh, I did it. See that? Okay. Whew. As soon as that thing broke free, boy, it was on there. So now I can just spin it off. I can tell you it was on there tight. Now, this is, you're going to have to do something like this because you're not going to get this thing off with a spanner. Okay. Let's grab this. You see here, it's all hot. Okay. You can see down in there, there's a second set of threads. I'm going to take this O-ring out right here so it doesn't melt. It's already starting to melt because I got it too hot. So you make sure you replace that. Yeah, it's all shot. We'll get this on the lathe. Now, the other thing is that I hit this pretty hard with right here with the air hammer, so I'm going to have to put this on the lathe and true that out before you put it in there because you don't want that, you have the wear bands on there, but I disformed it a little bit, so I'll fix that, okay? And if you're trying to do this yourself, you're just not going to get around it. you're going to have to do this. Now, the other thing you could do is you got a jig. You can make a special tool, put this thing on the nut breaker where you capture these. You'd have to have 4 pins that capture these, and you'd have to be so precise. And if you made a jig like that and it was really tight and you tried to do it, more than likely you would just snap these or bend these pins that we have, because it'd be less than, let's see, probably less than 1/4 inch. So it just wouldn't work that good. Okay, but what I'm going to show you what I do with these things, because I do quite a bit of them, is if you see in there, you got your threads. Now there's a set of threads here. So I'll wire wheel this off, and I'll never seize this set of threads like I was telling you. And then I'll put this on, and I'll either, try to get it real as tight as I can with the spanner wrench. Maybe I'll punch it a little bit. That way it's all the way tight. And then you put this nut on here with a little Loctite on it, and you hammer it down and then breaker bar it and keep that tight. And the reason they did that, used to be just a straight thread here, but they kept snapping all the time. So they've given it a little extra by attaching it to the piston itself, doubling up on that. But it's about an $1,800 cylinder or more for these things, I think. So we're just going to do a reseal here. The rods, there's a couple nicks on them, but this customer, they go through these so many, they just want to get them resealed and stop the major leaks and try to keep going. So if the rod's real bad, we will machine a new rod for them. So that just shows you a little bit about if you ever run into a thing like that where you can't get it apart. Okay, stand by.